This program is brought to you by the Labatt Brewing Company Limited, sponsors of Labatt's Blue Jays baseball.
Fly ball to right field. Going back is Carter, jumping, and it is off the wall. And Carter comes up limping. He jammed his foot, and Carter is down.
As Joe Carter went, so went the Blue Jays. In 5 games, they lost the pennant to the Minnesota Twins. Still, theirs was a season to be proud of. They fought off 2 serious challengers, and backed by a record 4 million fans, won their 2nd division title in 3 years.
Devon White going back to the track, leaps to make the catch. This place exploding in Toronto. There goes Alomar to third. Perry towards short, stolen base.
For the 1991 Toronto Blue Jays, a season of 4 million memories. Toronto's 1991 season really began at the winter meetings in Chicago. Looking like kids who'd just been handed the candy store, the Blue Jays pulled off one of the sweetest and most talked about trades in years.
The trade with Toronto consummated in about a day. It only took about 24 hours. Pat Gillikin and I and our staffs met.
Joe at the meeting said, you know, you spoke to me in regards to Joe Carter. He said, if I traded Joe, I'd have to get somebody back with some power. And I said, well, who would that be? And he said, it would have to be Fred McGriff.
It was a baseball trade. There were no other hidden agendas or no other free agency questions or this guy's going to play out his option or anything like that. It was simply value for value.
I said, how do you feel about possibly trading Robbie Alomar for Tony Fernandez?
We agreed on the trade. And when we came down to announce it, Howie Starkman, the Blue Jays publicity director, got up in front of all the media and everybody assembled and said that the Toronto Blue Jays have acquired Joe Carter. And everybody in the room went, and Roberto Alomar. And everybody in the room went, in exchange for first baseman Fred McGriff. And everybody in the room went, and shortstop Tony Fernandez. And everybody went, and suddenly the room broke into spontaneous applause because I think it was a trade that everybody just said, oh, it's about time to have something like this.
And so, when the Blue Jays went to Florida for spring training, they had a bona fide star.
I almost hit you with that ball there.
I'm old, but I ain't so.
In another key move, the Blue Jays acquired Devon White from the Angels. Yet another addition to a team already loaded with talent.
I think we can put a team and a lineup defensively and offensively out on the diamond there that'll compete with anybody.
Everyone in the lineup is, got the ability to do so much.
I'm going to have guys like Devon White and Mookie Wilson and Alomar in front of me, and hopefully those guys can get on base and let me do my job and drive them in.
I think Joe's personality is an outgoing type guy, and I think his personality is not going to hurt this team at all. It's going to help this team.
On April 8th, the Blue Jays lost their home opener to the Red Sox, but this guy was already in the groove. The next night, Tom Henke secured Toronto's first win of the season.
This one is over.
The Blue Jays were suddenly hot. Another day, another victory, and another hero.
He lifts it. God, a 3-run homer for Tabler. The Blue Jays go on top. That is the first ever home run for Tabler in the Sky Dome, and it comes at a timely moment for the Blue Jays.
The Blue Jays took 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox and kept it up against the Brewers, who were at their wits' end in one game as the Blue Jays came back twice and then once more.
Drive, game over. The rookie's first home run gives Toronto a 5-4 victory.
The Sky Dome was rocking as the Blue Jays were rolling. What clutch hitting did in one game, pitching did in another.
And that should do it. Jimmy Key has pitched a two-hitter and a shutout as he blanks the Milwaukee Brewers 9-0. The Blue Jays take 3 of 4. 5-2 they go on their first homestand.
Blue Jays ended April in first place, but then on May 1st in Texas, they caught Nolan Ryan on the wrong end of history.
And now the only man standing between Nolan Ryan and the 7th career no-hitter is Toronto's second baseman Roberto Alomar. That's it! Number 7 is in the books. The remarkable Ryan has done it again.
1 week later, the Blue Jays put a little Sky Dome spell on Ryan. This time, they were making all the noise.
Alomar lines one up the alley into right center, moving over. Sierra running it. It goes to the wall. Gianelli and White behind each other. Piggyback. They're on the way home. They score. He rips one deep left center. Back. It's off the wall. Alomar
did his part in the victory, as he'd been doing since Tom Henke was sidelined. What a relief to have more relief.
Blue Jays have their closer on. In the absence of Tom Henke, it's Dwayne Ward, and he's out looking for save number 6.
With Tom down there being a closer, I mean, he's been consistent for years. And when they asked me to step into the role in April and May, when Tom went down with the first injury, it was a little bit new, because they never really asked me to say, okay, now you're our closer.
Here's Dwayne Ward's 0-2 pitch. Struck him out, and that's the ball game. The Blue Jays have defeated the Kansas City Royals 3-1.
There's the pitch to Bernazard. He struck him out. Dwayne Ward comes on, and he has a very easy 1-2-3 ninth inning.
Ward strikes him out, and the day is done.
Well, I think it's every reliever's dream to be the main guy out of the bullpen, and I still feel that as a setup guy or a middle guy, things that I've done for the last 4 or 5 years, those are just as important. I feel that a lot of games are won or lost in the 6th, 7th innings. Our starters are doing their job if they get us to the 6th inning, because there's 4 or 5 guys in that bullpen that, just die every time they don't get into a ball game. There's guys out there that want to pitch, and our starters, if they go 9, then you got some frustrated relievers.
Most of all, the guy who'd been doing the job for 6 years.
I wanted to get back as quick as I could, but not because Dwayne was getting all the saves, that type of thing. I wanted to get back and help the team. I know if I'm 100%, I can help the team win a lot of games, and it was a matter of getting back and doing that.
On May 18th, Henke returned and fired off the first of 16 saves in 16 chances. Terminator 2 was even better than the original. On May 29th, Blue Jay attendance reached the 1 million mark. And to celebrate the event, Toronto's 3 new stars were great at the plate. Carter, White, and Alomar drove in 7 runs, and the Blue Jays whipped the Oakland A's 8-2. 2 days later, the Blue Jays were about to tie for the division lead. No one was enjoying the first-place honeymoon more than David Wells. He made the switch from middleman to starter without a hitch, and against the Angels was in the midst of collecting 8 wins in 9 decisions.
And it's over. That will be a baseball to keep for David Wells, his first career complete game, a 5-hitter.
I'll tell you one thing, with Steve Stottlemyre, Jimmy Key, and now with Wells pitching, this team is going to be tough on the Boston Red Sox.
But Dave Stieb, the longtime ace of the staff, came down with a sore shoulder and soon a bad back. And by June 1st, the only throwing he did was on the sidelines. Now, number 2 man Jimmy Key had to grapple with the job of stepping out of Steve's shadow.
I thought about it, and I said, well, geez, I can only pitch on my day. I can't go out and pitch 2 times in the rotation. I can't pitch twice every 5 days. So I only can do what I can do on my day, and you really can't try to overextend yourself. And, that's basically what I've tried to do.
What Key did was win 10 of his first 12 decisions, provide a much-needed anchor for the rest of the staff, and show the league just how resilient the Blue Jays were.
Our strength, I think, is up and down our roster. It's not maybe in a 3 or 4 game series. It's longevity, that we're going to win out because we got strengths all the way down our pitching staff and on our team.
On June 13th in Cleveland, Key showed what kind of strength he had as he picked up his 4th win in a row and raised his record to 8-2.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fly ball, right field. This ought to do it. What a wonderful pitching performance by Jimmy Key, who's tossed a complete game 2-hit shutout against the Cleveland Indians. And what a well-pitched series by the Blue Jays, capped tonight by the best performance of all from Jimmy Key.
As strong as Toronto's pitching was, it was about to become even more so.
Ladies and gentlemen, for tonight's performance of the Blue Jays, is starring in the role of starting pitcher in place of Dave Stieb, Juan Guzman. This 24-year-old has been performing at the AAA level and tonight makes his debut in the show.
There was nothing minor about Guzman's stuff, and even though he didn't win right away, he was here to stay.
He struck him out. 3 in the game for Juan Guzman, and 6 straight retired in his major league debut.
We thought in spring training he would have a shot maybe going out as a long man. But then when we got into that situation with Steve getting hurt and Boucher not doing a very good job, we decided to bring Guzman up. And really, he's thrown the ball very, very well since he's been here.
Guzman made Toronto's pitching staff all the tougher. As for John Olerud, he was making Blue Jay offense all the better. At age 23, the youngest Blue Jay was finding his swing ever so sweetly.
Well, that's the thing about Olerud. He has such a good swing, and mechanically is so sound, he can get as hot as anybody.
2-2 pitch to Olerud. He has his 3rd hit of the night. This is to the wall in right center field. Tamers being waved home by Rich Hacker. Olerud's on his way to 3rd. It's a triple and his 4th RBI of the night.
In June, Olerud warmed up. Besides playing first base with poise and polish, he came off a subpar May to hit .271 in June and .342 in July. But anything Olerud was doing, Joe Carter was doing even better. Carter was everything the Blue Jays hoped for and more. He would collect 33 homers and 108 RBIs. And he loved to mix business with pleasure.
Yeah, sometimes you can't explain it, but I've always had a lot of fun playing the game of baseball. And I guess the fans here, they really appreciate that. I got a knock in Cleveland because they said I smiled too much. You know, at the plate, I joked around a little bit, but I was always serious once the game started, and once the pitch was coming, I was always serious. But they told me exactly that was one of the main reasons I was over here, because of my personality. And all that I'm doing is playing the game the way I was taught to play the game, and that's to have fun, to go out there and play hard every day.
Carter hits it into right center and has a chance to fall. And the Blue Jays take the lead in an RBI double by Joe Carter.
There's a drive to right field, going over after it, and a great catch made by Joe Carter.
There goes Joe Carter. Safely into second base.
Beautiful sliding catch out there by Carter. That's the play of the year so far.
There's a long drive, forget about it.
The home runs, to me, they come in bunches. I've always been a type of a streaky hitter. You know, once I get that feel, it's like you can do no wrong, and every mistake pitch they make, I hit it out.
And this is a hanger. That's a mistake, a 3-1 curveball to Carter. But he leaves it on the inside part of the plate. There's no doubt about that one.
Here's Joe Carter. Carter is 0 for 2 and hits a bomb high, long. He takes the grand tour.
Goodbye. Kiss it goodbye.
He is really on a tear. A single, double, and home run last night and 2 at-bats today, a double and a 3-run homer, and he's just tearing the cover off the ball right now.
He's all over the pitches.
I went on a tear there in June. I hit 4 home runs, 4 straight days, and then a couple more after that.
You got that one. The deep left field, and there's was number 11 in the month of June.
Well, when you're hot, you're hot. And Joe Carter is scalding right now.
You know, I had a great June and right before the All-Star break, and that's when we made our move. So it was good to really help contribute. And when I'm feeling good, I feel there's no one in baseball that can get me out.
In a touch of irony, Carter's 11th home run in June came against his old Cleveland teammate, Tom Candiotti, who was about to be his new teammate.
At that time, we were searching for a fourth starter and a fifth starter, and so we started talking to the Indians, and lo and behold, they needed some outfielders with some punch.
The future stars, 26-year-old Glenn Allen Hill, 24-year-old Mark Whitten, and 23-year-old Denny Boucher. Gone from the Jays in a blockbuster deal with Cleveland for 33-year-old knuckleballer Tom Candiotti. It's a deal designed for the Blue Jays to win now. Tonight, the knuckling newcomer debuts on TSN.
I was really nervous about coming to Toronto, and because, you know, a lot of weight's all of a sudden been put on your shoulders. They've traded a lot of good players away to hopefully, you know, get a pennant, and so there was a lot of pressure initially.
There's a great reaction from the crowd here when he walked in from the bullpen, and now another round of applause as he makes his way to the mound.
It took me a while to reach my comfort zone, so to speak, and once I did, you know, I was really happy about it. You know, it's nice looking up there and seeing 50,000. It's nice seeing a big jumbotron in center field. You know, in Cleveland you didn't have it, you know, instant replays or anything. So everything was escalated to a little different degree, and so I was real happy the trade happened.
On July 3rd, the Blue Jays hit the 2 million mark faster than any team in history. It was also a jackpot day for the newest pitcher as Candiotti combined on a shutout and got all the offense he needed from Carter.
Here goes Carter again. 3-0. Home run number 19 for a share of the Major League lead.
By now, the Blue Jays had pumped up their lead to 4.5 games, and they marched into the All-Star break reeling off 15 wins in 18 games.
The Toronto Blue Jays losing streak is stopped. Blue Jays win it 6-1.
For the second night, we've seen the Blue Jays hitting on all cylinders.
The Jays regain first place in the American League East, 3-1, the final. And there he goes, and no throw will be made. With the runners on the way.
Four-game lead for Toronto over the slumping Sox of Beantown. We are tied at 3. This place exploding in Toronto. And a high chopper right to the shortstop. Vizquel has one.
He said he was off the plate.
He was off the plate, and Toronto wins it.
Alomar short hops it. Great play.
And the Blue Jays are really on top of their game right now. They finally look like the team that before the season everyone said this will be the best team in the East.
Base hit. Blue Jays win the game. Blue Jays have come from behind to beat the Minnesota Twins 4-3.
There's a Major League home run. How can they keep him off the All-Star team?
And the Jays win it 4-0.
Toronto. The Blue Jays reinstate their 4.5-game lead over the frustrated Boston Red Sox, who can't gain ground.
And it's gone. A home run for Oru. Blue Jays lead 4-3. Blue Jays win it. A come from behind 4-3 win over the Mariners. That's the ball game. The Blue Jays have swept the Mariners and take the All-Star break with a 5.5-game lead atop the American League East.
Toronto's first half ended with an exclamation. Not only was the team in first place, but the city was in its glory as host of this year's All-Star game. With its state-of-the-art ballpark on display for all of baseball, Toronto went all out in hosting the All-Star game for the first time. Seeing the stars is one thing, but getting the chance to be a star is something else.
All right, we all psyched up and ready for Fan Fest out here? Yeah! Okay, let's get some people going in. Come on in.
This was Fan Fest, a 5-day jubilee that had fans experiencing everything from a Jimmy Key curveball to their very own bubblegum card.
Sign a major league contract. It's all happening inside.
Listen, you're going to be in there against Jimmy Key. What's going through your mind right now?
Well, I'll be sitting on a fastball.
You're going to be sitting on the fastball. That's funny because Jimmy's known for his curveball.
I think the best reaction we get is when you see a big smile on a kid's face, or a bunch of kids sitting in the lobby dumping out of their bags all the free goodies that they're getting and trading cards and, hey, look at this that I got, and looking through their programs. That's the best reaction you can get.
From Fan Fest to Star Fest, as the who's who of the 1991 baseball stars gathered at Sky Dome. No player was more thrilled to be an All-Star than Toronto's own Joe Carter. He was playing in his 9th season, but he was an All-Star for the first time. No wonder he was having the time of his life.
All right, let's go. We finally made it, man. 20 years. 20 years. 20 years. 20 years. Hey, the old veterans here, he's been playing, what, 1921? He finally made the All-Star team. Yeah, but I'm struggling. The man was struggling at 340. Man, just ruined my day.
No, I didn't. We went to Seattle. Yeah, but I got it when I came back last night. We've been in Seattle.
No, I hit 11 in the month. But they were throwing stuff down there. They were balls, and I was still raking them out. I know.
I want them all. I want all of them.
Oh, what you talking about, man? You got 4 in the last 3 days. Last 2 days.
I'm greedy. I want them all.
You want them all, huh? I gotta go in here and see if I can swing, so I don't disappoint everybody. If nobody's throwing all my bats. Oh, you watching them for me? You're watching them like a hawk, huh?
That's right.
When it came time for the home run hitting contest, Baltimore shortstop Cal Ripken was all fired up.
Let's go, Rip. One may win it. Let's go. Hey, we run it. What did Rip say? He didn't like hitting off here. Get him out of here. You don't have out of here. Go. Hey, who's next? That man's on a roll.
In a dazzling performance, Ripken smashed 12 of 22 pitches for home runs to win the contest hands down. But while Ripken hit the most, former Toronto Blue Jays Cecil Fielder hit the longest. 2 of Fielder's homers traveled more than 450 feet. more amused or more amazed than Fielder's fellow All-Stars. Not a bad way to get warmed up for the main event.
Hello and welcome to the 1991 All-Star Game in the beautiful Toronto Skydome.
As 52,000 fans poured into Skydome, the night was especially magical for 5 Toronto Blue Jays on the American League squad. In the third inning, one of those 5, Jimmy Key, got the Nationals out 1-2-3. And then the still red-hot Cal Ripken slammed a 3-run homer in the bottom of the inning to make Key the winner. Also getting a chance to shine, Joe Carter, who did his all-star best to help Harold Baines boost the AL's lead.
And a line drive into right, and it is caught by Felix Jose. The throw is not in time. American League is going to lead 4-2.
Nice base running. That's it. That's good base running. That boy yo-yo. That boy yo-yo. Nice going. Nice going.
In a night of celebration, the proud Toronto fans had given their biggest cheers to the only Blue Jay to make the starting All-Star team.
The Toronto Blue Jays, second baseman, Roberto Alomar.
In only half a season, Alomar had played his way into the hearts of Blue Jay fans. And who better to share his shining moment with than All-Star teammate and brother Sandy. In Alomar, Toronto had a jewel of a second baseman. And no one appreciates his talents more than Joe Carter, who came with Roberto from San Diego to Toronto.
If you go back to when the trade was first made, I said and the big man in the deal was Robbie Alomar.
Home run Alomar, tie game.
People in the American League have not seen Robbie Alomar play. They say he's going to excite a lot of fans.
There goes Alomar, and the winning run is at second base.
He's had a tremendous year, stealing bases, driving in big runs, and defensively, you know, I can't think of a better second baseman in baseball.
Alomar with a great play at second base.
I mean, he's done a tremendous job, and you know, he's got a great chance to be the MVP this year.
Alomar did not win the MVP, but at 23, he impressed his new league enough to win a Gold Glove as the best second baseman.
Up the middle, look at Alomar. Look at this play. Look at this. Come on, the game's not that easy. What a play by Alomar.
On offense, Alomar was equally impressive. He produced a team-leading .295 average and 53 steals. And for an aggressive player who hates to stay put, Robbie made the switch from grass to turf without a hitch.
My style is to run, steal bases, bunt, hit and run, and hit the ball on the ground. And I think so the turf been helping me a lot this year. So, I think so the move for me from grass to turf, it came at the right moment.
Alomar has fit right in with the Blue Jays, playing the game with all-out hustle and seeing to it that everyone else does too.
I tried to lead the ball club, not as an average or making numbers, as a leadership, and this year I've been playing with Joe Carter, and he really helped me a lot mental, so that's the key. And I think so this year I've been having a lot of fun, and that's why I've been doing so good.
Roberto and the Blue Jays rolled into the second half with 3 straight wins and counting. On July 11th, the Rangers came in for 4 games. Unfortunately for Texas, the Blue Jays cut a much more dashing figure on the diamond than they did on the lanes.
Mullenix hits the ball into left field. Reimer can't make the catch. The ball's by him, headed to the wall. Mullenix digging in. He'll head for third base. Just now they're getting the ball. Hackers waving Mullenix home. Could be an inside the park home run. And it is 2-0 Jays.
Here's Kelly Gruber now.
Launches one to left, and he's given the Blue Jays the lead. Look at this. The late inning drama continues at the Skydome.
the Blue Jays won the first 3 games, all after the 6th inning, and brought their win streak to 6. From there, it was on to Kansas City for more drama. In the 11th inning of Game 1, the Blue Jays looked doomed when Mike Timlin got into a jam. Bases loaded, nobody out.
Seitzer thinking about just getting something deep enough to score Brent Mayne. That's the difference in the ball game. 90 feet.
Here's the 1-2 to Seitzer. Ground ball over Timlin's head. Manny Lee comes home. They force Mayne there, 1 out.
The infield is still playing to cut the runoff at the plate. Not going to go for 2.
2-0 pitch. Ground ball. Manny Lee comes home again. 2 away, bases loaded. So now Stillwell standing at third base. The Royals left a man in the 9th and the 10th, and they have 3 of them on here in the 11th. Here's the 0-1 to Gibson, up high, squirts away from Waters, can't find it. Timlin, got out! Wow! What an escape from a huge jam. Tie game, and we'll go to the 12th. What a play! What a game!
Timlin set the rest of this one out. Kelly Gruber put the Blue Jays ahead in the 12th, and then in the bottom of the inning, Kansas City tried to do the impossible. Come back against Tom Henke.
Fly ball left field. Carter gets a beat on it, makes the catch, and this game is finally over. The Blue Jays have won another one with late inning heroics.
The victory gave the Blue Jays a commanding 8-game lead, and nothing gave the team more confidence than the sure hands of the guys in the field.
How deep can Alomar play? The answer is plenty deep. There's a ball hit to center field, hit very well. White back, this has a chance. No, White with a great catch. Nice play by Gruber. Up with the ball, over to first. Got it, base hit. Throw to the plate. Davis is out. Popped up. Waters makes a great play. Liner to left. Ducey on the run. Nice catch. A hot shot. Great diving effort by Sprague. And his throw gets him.
Carter giving chase and foul territory. Watch out, Joe. Look at that play. Oh, my.
Backhanded by Lee. Long throw and a beauty of a play.
Vaughn rips one to left. Maldonado on the run, and he makes the catch.
Ground ball. Manny Lee. Roberto Alomar. John O'Rourke for 2. Devon White positions himself to throw as he makes the catch. Gallego headed for third. Good throw. Out at third base. What a throw. Over the head of McDonald. Alomar makes the play behind second. What a play. Oh, what a play by Roberto Alomar.
No fielder cut a more dashing figure than Devon White. Gold Glove center fielder, outstanding leadoff hitter.
To see him go get some balls in center field, I mean, sometimes I feel I would have a ticket.
Going back, Devon White on the track, and he makes the catch. Lined into center. Here comes Devo for the catch.
He's one of the main reasons that we are leading the league in run average.
Devon White gives the ball a ride way out of here.
And this one well hit. Goodbye.
From our standpoint, we thought if he could hit 240 to 250 and do his deal in center field, you know, that we'd be happy with that.
Fair ball. Devon White is on the run.
Watch the jump. Boy, he's gone.
Gives this team a lot of speed. Gets the ball down to the ground. Here's the throw. Safe.
With a .282 average and 17 home runs, Devo far exceeded Blue Jay expectations. On August 1st, the Blue Jays had what looked to be a comfortable lead. They were facing the East at home. And on August 6th, Tom Henke continued to roll all the way to a major league record.
Bunts the ball in the air. That's the ball game. Henke has the record with his 24th consecutive save.
24 out of 24, and Tom Henke has been perfect.
And the next night, Henke brought his consecutive save total to 25.
It's a nice record. I mean, anytime you go out there on the mound, anything can happen, and to be able to go out there 25 times in a row in a save situation, a lot of them were one-run games, to do it 25 times in a row, there's not hardly anybody's ever done that before, I don't think. So, you know, it's something you can look back, Alan, after you're out of ball. Doesn't really mean that much to me right now, but I guess once I retire and I start looking back over my career, it'll be a pretty nice accomplishment.
The only thing Toronto wanted to accomplish was to beat the Red Sox when they came in for 4 games. But Boston swept the series, and suddenly the Blue Jays were starting to squirm. The pitching that had been so effective in the first half was faltering. The Blue Jays went to Milwaukee and lost 2 more. Their losing streak went to 7 games, and their lead shrunk to 2. They just needed something to get them going. And in the finale against the Brewers, Todd Stottlemyre gave it to them when he beat Milwaukee 7-1. They could all breathe a sigh of relief.
When you're in first place and you've lost 7 in a row and you've gone through a little skid after we'd played so well for so long, I really felt good about taking the mound. I wanted to take it, and I did want to stop it.
It was just such a measure of how far Stottlemyre had come that he was now looked upon as a stopper in the rotation.
Stottlemyre is finally delivering on the potential the Blue Jays have expected for a long time.
Struck out Davis, 2 away. 5 strikeouts for Stottlemyre.
On his way to a most respectable record of 15-8, Stottlemyre was only too happy to take the mound when the pressure was on.
I hate to say that I like to pitch in those situations, but because you don't ever want to be on a club that loses 7 or 8 or 10 in a row or what have you. But like I say, in those situations, I love to take the ball anytime.
With the Blue Jays still a little uneasy, they decided to get some help, and on August 9th acquired Candy Maldonado from the Milwaukee Brewers. It was a choice pickup, getting a veteran player with a solid glove and a clutch bat. As for Maldonado, getting the news that he was coming to a first-place team couldn't have made him any happier.
When we got to Texas that day, it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and Jamie Navarro was sitting right beside me. And I said, Jamie, you know what? This was the place where it all started. You know, broke my foot in Texas, second game. And this is the 2nd time we're going to Texas. I said, this is the place where it's gonna turn around, it's gonna change. I figured we still had 2.5 months to go. You're gonna get some at-bats. You had to put some numbers. But eventually it did change because at 1 o'clock that afternoon, you know, I heard a knock on the door. Trevor Horn, you know, you're going to Toronto from 15 games out to first place. Big change.
On August 20th, the Blue Jays broke their own record by reaching the 3 million mark faster than any other team in history. It was the beginning of a homestand against the East, and Tom Henke helped get things off on the right foot.
Sharply hit, Alomar to lead for 1, Oru for 2, double play. That's the ball game. The Blue Jays have won their 3rd in a row. Final score, Blue Jays 3, Brewers 1, save 29 for Henke.
Unfortunately, because of an aching back, Cito Gaston couldn't make it out to the field to congratulate his team.
Cito just got to the point where, you know, he just couldn't come to the park and make decisions. The pain was so intense that it really distracted him, I think, from making those crucial decisions. And so, you know, Cito's smart enough to say, look, we need somebody else in there that's got a fresher head right now.
On August 21st, Cito went into the hospital, and Gene Tennis took over the job of managing a first-place club. Tennis was the batting instructor, but he seemed to have as good a rapport with the pitchers as he did with the hitters.
Gino was out with Cito most of the year, you know, helping him with decisions and stuff, and so we didn't figure it would be much different when Gino stepped in, and it turned out that it wasn't.
Tennis was thrown right into the fire of a pennant race, trying to keep his team from getting rattled in the face of a Detroit team suddenly breathing down Toronto's necks.
Fastball is hit deep to center field. Lance Johnson on the run, going way back. It is gone. A home run for Rob Deere. Tigers sweep the series, and in the process, pulled to within a game and a half of the division-leading Toronto Blue Jays.
There it is. Same place and got him. The Brewers have come from behind 8-7. And what a race in the American League East. The Blue Jays lead over the Tigers is 1 game.
On August 23rd, the Yankees came in with a chance to knock the Blue Jays out of first place. Steve Farr took a 5-4 lead into the bottom of the ninth. The Blue Jays got 2 runners on. And with Gene Tennis looking for his first win, up came Roberto Alomar.
Breaking ball high. It's trouble. It drops. Here comes the tying run. Here comes the winning run of the Jays pulled out. They win it 6-5 and stay in first place. August 23rd may be a night to remember.
While the Blue Jays were sweating out this series against the Yankees, they were getting no help in Detroit from the Mariners.
Popped it up. The Tigers win. And if the Yankees can make their lead stand up, the Tigers will climb into a tie for first place in the American League East.
The Yankees are winners in Toronto, 6-5. The Tigers have won their game, so the Blue Jays now share first place in the American League East with that Detroit Tigers ball club.
In the Toronto finale, the Yankees could not contain a Blue Jay offense that scored 22 runs in 3 games and came back again and again.
Base hit into right field past Dobbs. Olerud scores 7-6. Mullenix drives it to left. It's tied at 7. Tough play, no play at the plate. Blue Jays take the lead. That's a fair ball. Here come 2 more runs. Ward strikes him out and the day is done. Down 7-2. The Blue Jays rally for 9 and stun the New York Yankees and send a message down the 401 to Detroit.
The Blue Jays were tied for first and went to Baltimore, playing their best brand of ball. In the series opener, pitching prevailed as Jimmy Key held the Orioles to 2 runs, notching his 100th career win. Key set the tone, and everything fell into place.
Hammered by Devon White. Out into right, and Carter makes a great catch.
Lee shatters the bat. Little flare. Ripken is back. He can't get to it. Gruber score. Candiotti has retired with the out of Ripken 17 in a row. The Blue Jays sweep the series in Baltimore. Tom Hankey closes it down for Tom Candiotti, who checked the Orioles on just a single hit.
With their lead back up to 2 games, the Blue Jays turned their clutch defense on the Yankees.
Oh, what a double play. Started by Manny Lee to Alomar down to Sprague, doubling up Espinoza and Garrett.
Manuel Lee was equally clutch at the plate.
Right field, Mel Hall on the run, off the wall. In to score is Gruber. In to score is Tabler.
Behind Lee's performance, the Blue Jays made it 5 straight wins. They went on to split the 4-game series with the Yankees and then came home to take 2 of 3 from the Orioles, thanks to comeback after comeback.
Back, back, back! We're tied! And the Jays have battled back to no doubter.
Chopper base hit! The Blue Jays win it! How about that? Corey Snyder, Joe Carter, and the Toronto Blue Jays win it 5-4 in the 12th inning.
And this one is belted to deep right center field. On the run is Anderson. Gone! Andy Maldonado slams it out of here. His 9th home run of the year. And it's now 2-0 Jays. What a shot.
Now 3 games up, the Blue Jays went to Cleveland on September 5th and finally shook the Tigers. They scored 35 runs in 4 games as Kelly Gruber dazzled the Indians.
Base hit for Gruber to left field. In to score is Alomar. Carter behind him. 2 runs are in. A double for Kelly Gruber. 2-0 Jays. Gruber charges it, barehands it. Got it! Gruber hits the ball in left field. It's going way back and it's gone. Home run, Kelly Kelly Gruber. 5 RBIs on the day. It's 11-0 Toronto. The Blue Jays have swept the Cleveland Indians and now won 5 straight games and head into their test against the West.
They flunked the first 2 games, and then Juan Guzman cast off the Friday the 13th bugaboo, getting a little luck and a whole lot of runs to beat the A's and win his 7th straight decision. But even with Guzman's clutch pitching, the Blue Jays found themselves in a whole new pennant race, this time with the Boston Red Sox. In winning 31 out of 41, the Sox all but wiped out an 11.5-game deficit in 6 weeks. And now, in mid-September, we're closing in on Toronto.
And the Blue Jays found out that Boston beat the Baltimore Orioles 4-3. The Blue Jays lose in the 11th for the 2nd consecutive night by a run here in Seattle, clinging to a 2.5-game lead over Boston.
A 3-hit shutout for Roger Clemens. They're now 2 games behind the Toronto Blue Jays, and again they put pressure on the Blue Jays to win tonight as they'll be taking the field against the Athletics.
Base hit right field. Carter charges the ball. Henderson's waved home. The throw to the plate. The Athletics win the ball game. The Blue Jays lead is down to a 1.5 games on the Boston Red Sox in the American League East.
2 days later, with the lead down to half a game, Jeff Reardon delivered a fateful 9th-inning pitch to the Yankees' Roberto Kelly.
The 1-2 pitch, ripped to left, high and deep, and it is gone. The Red Sox 1 strike away from a tie for first place. Now they're in a tie game 5-5.
Kelly's home run was devastating. It spurred the Yankees to an extra inning victory and all but finished the Red Sox. 2 days later, Pat Borders pinch hit against the Angels and drove the final nail in Boston's coffin.
He hammers a pitch to left field. It's back, way back, and gone. A 3-run home run for Pat Borders.
The Blue Jays went on to win and then came home to wrap up the East. Cito Gaston was back in the dugout. And on October 2nd, the Blue Jays set an all-time attendance record by reaching the 4 million mark. It was a perfect time to clinch. In the 6th inning, Candy Maldonado brought down the house.
Candy Maldonado was a mid-season acquisition to add some punch from the right side, and timing is excellent.
Maldonado's 2-run homer put the Blue Jays ahead 3-2 with 9 outs to go. As Pat Gillick looked on, each of his hand-picked stars was coming through. Tom Candiotti pitched into the 7th inning, leaving with a 1-run lead. But in the 8th inning, all was quiet at Skydome when Dave Winfield smashed a home run off David Wells to tie the game. The Blue Jays gave up the go-ahead run in the 9th, and then the Angels threatened to score again off Mike Timlin.
Amaro hits the ball on the ground to right field. Carter up, throwing to the plate. He's out. But the Angels got a run. The Blue Jays need a big comeback against the toughest reliever in the American League.
But the bottom of the 9th epitomized the Blue Jays season. Brian Harvey was no match for the top of their order.
And a base hit here. Devon White with a leadoff single in the bottom of the 9th.
Leadoff base hit, and this is the part of the order that the Blue Jays have counted on all year long.
1 strike pitch. Knocked down, the throw to second is wild by Flora. White scooting towards third. He's being waved home. Devon White will score to tie the game. Winning runs on second for Joe Carter. There goes Alomar to third. Parrish won't throw it. Stolen base.
All year long, Alomar has utilized the stolen base to put pressure on the defense. None bigger than the one he just stole to tie Rickey Henderson.
Nobody out. Winning run on third. Base hit. Blue Jays win the East. Let the celebration begin.
Jays had so much to be proud of. They won their 3rd division title in 7 years, and they couldn't have done it without the amazing support of their fans, who chalked up the biggest one-season gate of any sport ever. In only 15 seasons, the Blue Jays have formed a love affair with their fans. It's a testament as much to the team's success as it is to the people of Toronto.
We have a tremendous amount of support from our fans, and you know, it shows.
Hello, Blue Jays, well, it's time to win.
It's really neat to show up at the ballpark every day and know that you're going to have 50,000.
It's nice to see to get that kind of fan support, and I mean, nothing I can do, you know, for the fans, take my hat off and say thank you.